Hello everybody, Shinjo here, and welcome back to the channel, and I am here to rank the new Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. So before I get it out of the way, obviously there are going to be spoilers in this video, that's why I haven't put the tier list up. So I've given you ample time to get off the video, so here we go. So in this tier list, initially I had one that had every single mon, even the whole evolutionary line. But I decided to go for this one that's only the fully evolved Mons because it's a lot less effort on my part. And full transparency, I recorded a video on every single Pokemon, even in the same line, and it was over 30 minutes long, and I don't want to edit that. So let's start with the starters. I'm not going to worry about ranking them in between their own tiers. I'll just put them where I see fit. So, I have 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10, and trash. Obviously, there's going to be some differences, and the game has not even been out a week, so my thoughts are probably going to change. But let's start with the starter Pokemon. So, Meowscarada, Skeledirge, and Quackavole. They're not bad. I think, just based off of my personal preference, Skeledirge is the best, but that's not to say the other two are bad. They're neat. It's just I had my heart set on picking Fuecoco, and I was not disappointed by the evolution. So up next is Oinkologne. Now, I'm one of the people that didn't care for Lechonk when it was revealed. It was just kind of there. Kind of gave me vibes of Wooloo from the gen before. So Oinkologne, I'm going to give it a solid 5 out of 10. Not something I would use on my team being a pure normal type, but it's still neat. And then we have Spidops. Now, a lot of these I've seen in the overworld, but I haven't had a chance to use. So I think just based off of that, I'm going to put Spidops at 5 out of 10 as well. And this must be Low Kicks. I really like Low Kicks. I like it, the Bug Dark type. Definitely different from Spidops. So I think I'm going to put it there, and even though I said I wasn't going to, I'm going to put it just above Spidops just to prove a point. And then is Rabsca, which a Bug Psychic type, which is kind of neat that they have a Bug Dark and a Bug Psychic in the same gen. At the same time, it's neat. Again, I think I'll put it above Spidops. Not to discount Spidops, it's just that I don't care typically when it's a pure type because I prefer to have dual type mons on my team to cover more types. And then we have Houndstone. Houndstone and Greavard, I absolutely love them. He's going to go 8 out of 10 as well. I love him. And then we have Espathra, which is like a peacock looking thing. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, I can kind of see the peacock vibes. I'll give it 8 out of 10 as well. I like it. And then we have Wugtrio. Honestly, I think it's going to go 3 out of 10. I just don't really care for it at all. And Dodonzo? Dodonzo is certainly massive in the overworld to begin with. And it is one of the times I whited out in the game. So I think based off of that alone, I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. Or roughly 5 out of 10. Obviously, it could be like 6 or 7 out of 10, but I'm not going to put it in 8 out of 10 unless I feel like it deserves to be there. Oh, right, I forgot Veluza. Honestly, I forgot this was even a Pokemon. I'm going to put it 3 out of 10 as well. Now, Palafin is probably going to be 8 out of 10 as well. Just based off of this, you could probably guess who I'm having on my team. But Palafin's just really cool. I like the idea of it evolving, or changing forms, I should say, when it switches out, which is definitely a unique evolution, form change, technically. It's just really cool. I wish it was a water fighting type instead of a water type, but still neat. Arboliva, I don't know how to pronounce half of these names. I think it's going to go 5 out of 10 as well. I like it. It's cool. Scovillain is going to go there as well. Bellibolt, honestly, I think Bellibolt's going to go 5 out of 10 as well. Because it's one of those things where Bellibolt's neat, But at the same time, when I'm constructing my team, I'm realizing that if I would have Skeledirge and Bellybolt on my team, that's 2 ground weaknesses. So it's a little bit rough. I could probably double stack and have extra weaknesses to ground, but I would just prefer not to. But that's just me. And then Reveroom, it's neat. I think it's going to go 3 out of 10 as well. It's cool, but it's not enough for me to care. Earthworm is just an absolute goofball. He just looks like there's nothing going on in his brain, but I'm still going to give him 3 out of 10. Okay, so here we go. Mousehold. Not actually considering trash, but like, I want to put something at the bottom, and if there's anything from this gen that I would put at the bottom, it would probably be Mousehold. Because, like, I don't want to say it's a lazy evolution, but, like, it just has a family. It's clever in some senses, but they're just mice. Like, if they had more characteristics and personality, I might care more, but I just don't care at all. Now, as far as the Titan, there are sometimes I look at this thing and think it's a massive monster, but sometimes I just think it looks stupid. So I'm putting it 5 out of 10. So up next is Baxcalibur, and I don't know how I feel about this thing. It definitely looks like a monster, clearly. Oh no! It has an ability that boosts its attack when it's hit by a fire move? That is not a good idea, and doubles are going to be broken for that. But I'm going to put it 5 out of 10. It's just not something I would think about using personally. Tatsugiri, it's right there with the Donzo, literally with the Donzo. Cyclizar, I think Cyclizar is going to be an 8 out of 10. It's cool. I don't know if it actually has any relation to Koraidon and Miraidon. I haven't finished the game yet. But it's neat. Palmot is probably going to go 3 out of 10. Palmot is the final evolution. I couldn't remember because there's Palmy, Palmo, and Palmot. It's very difficult and confusing to figure out. Kilowattrel, I like it. I think it's going to go 5 out of 10 at the very top. I think if it'd be anything, if there will be a tier, it'd probably be like a solid 7. You know what? If I'm arguing 7 out of 10, I can put it in the 8 out of 10 range. That seems fair. Bombardier, I don't know what it's actually pronounced. I don't know half of these names. I'm going to put him 3 out of 10. I just don't care. It's got an ability that boosts rock moves, but if it also boosts rock moves the opponent uses, that's not good for him at all. Squawkabilly, honestly, I think it's going to go right there with Mousehold. There are so many better birds in this region. Kilowattrel, Bombardier even though I don't care for it, it's definitely better. Even the starter. And on that note, we got Flamigo, and I think Flamigo is going to go 8 out of 10 as well. It's a very solid mon and a fighting flying type, which is weird because I can imagine a lot of people that make their own Flamingo would be a fairy type, but Game Freak just didn't want to do that. Clove's probably going to be a 5 out of 10. It's cool. It just looks a little bit goofy. The fact that it's a standalone mon doesn't help either. And then Garganical. Okay, that's the one. Knuckle Stack's the mid-stage. It is literally salt, and I love it. I'm going to put it 8 out of 10, but at the very, very back. If it'll be my choice, maybe 5 out of 10. But I just love that it's literally salty. And I just love the pun in the name. Glimmora is next, and I haven't seen a Glimmora in the wild. I might have, or it might have gotten to the point where I haven't reached that part of the game yet. I'm going to put it 5 out of 10. Rafai, I think it's also going to be 5 out of 10. It is interesting. It's just, in hindsight, it's a monkey, but I just can't find myself to care that much. Doxbun, honestly, I like it, so I'm going to put it 8 out of 10. I was thinking about putting it lower, but I just love dogs in general, so I'm going to put my Boss Stiff right there as well. I like how they have 2 dogs in the same gen, and they're dark and fairy. That's just really fun. Then we have Bramblegast. It's interesting because it doesn't really look that different from Bramblin. There might be something in a Pokédex entry that would change my mind, but I just, again, can't find myself to care. Let's finish up the rest of this dex with Goldango. I haven't had one of these on my team. Obviously, I wouldn't need to because I have a Ghost type already and a better Steel type, which I'll get to in a bit. So, I think it's going to go 5 out of 10 as well. Hold on. Did I miss it? Hold on. Oh, there it is. Shoot. Which one is it? Is it Tinkaton? It's oddly placed in the dex. There it is. Tinkaton. Let's move you up here. Because I wanted to do all the new mons first, and then the paradoxes, and then the legends. Tinkaton is going to be absolutely 10 out of 10. I love this thing. In the other video that I recorded, and I'm repeating it again here, it gives me quick Hatena vibes from the previous gen. I just look at this thing, and it just looks the same way, makes me feel the same way that I felt when I saw Hatena in this line. It's just really cool and a better Steel type on my team than anything else I could have come up with. And we have Armarouge and Scarlet somewhere here. There they are. Let me move them up here. Because I don't think... No, they wouldn't be legends, would they? I don't actually know. They evolve, but that doesn't mean anything in this day and age with legend Pokemon. I'm going to put... Honestly, I think I'm going to put Armarouge 5 out of 10 and Scarlet 8 out of 10. Even though I hate to be that guy that says I love Scarlet, I just do. Even though it's definitely typical to say that. But let's move on to the Paradox forms. I think that's what they're called. I actually don't know what they're called. First up is Great Tusk the Donphan. And I think it's going to be a 10 out of 10. I really like it. Brute Bonnet, I don't really care about Amoonguss to begin with, so this doesn't really change my mind. Candy Shocks is also going to be 5 out of 10. I like how it's an electric ground type, but again, just can't find myself caring. Green Tail the Jigglypuff, that's a middle name if I've ever heard one. I love this thing. If it wouldn't be so late in the game and I already wouldn't have a fairy type, that might be something that I would add to my team. And Fluttermane, again, probably just going to be 5 out of 10. I like how they're giving forms to mons that aren't only Kanto, but Mischievous of all things? Volcarona, which is Slitherwing. I think this thing is going to be an 8 out of 10 as well. And Iron Moth is the other one. I'm going to put that there as well. Kind of upsetting in hindsight because if Volcarona is partly based off of Mothra, I'm surprised they didn't do anything in the gen before, but regardless. Roaring Moon, honestly, I didn't really care too much about this thing until Toby discussed it in one of his videos. So I like its design looking at it in that perspective, so I'm going to put it 8 out of 10. Iron Treads, again, just can't find myself caring. Iron Hands, I really like. I'm going to put that at 8 out of 10. Obviously, these future forms I can't use because I picked Scarlet. Iron Jugulus, honestly, I think the original Hydreigon is just better in every way. But Iron Thorns, however, is going to be an 8 out of 10. And Iron Bundle, Delibird, of all things, I'm going to put it 5 out of 10. Iron Valiant, it's also going to go 5 out of 10. I don't know if it's supposed to be based off of Gallade or Gardevoir or both, but it's still neat. Now, okay, I messed this up. Hold on. Let's go with the mons that got new evolutions first, before I go on to the legends, because I saved them for later just so I could group them all together. So the Dunsparce, honestly, it's just going to be a 5 out of 10. Everybody's been expecting a Dunsparce evolution, and this one was just kind of underwhelming. And I don't feel like I'm in the minority for saying that. Clodsire and King Gambit, and where did he go? Annihilate are definitely all going to go up there. I wanted to put them all together. Farigiraf, it's cool, 8 out of 10. Is that all of them? Okay, well I missed Toadstool over here. Let's put him 5 out of 10. Now on to these bozos. I think Clodsire is going to stay 8 out of 10, but King Gambit and Annihilate are going to go 10 out of 10. I like how King Gambit keeps up the thing of the chess naming convention with Poniard, Bishop, and now King Gambit. I really like that. I like the way it evolves. And Annihilate, just to give you an idea of how much I love Annihilate, I have Skeledirge on my team, so I have 2 ghost types, and I literally dropped my fighting type from my team just so I could add this thing to my team. I love how it just, the way it evolves, and the Pokédex entries that say about like how it's basically dead. I love that. That came out wrong. But let's go with these legends, and I don't know how I feel about these, because Toby said that he added Wo-Chien to his team, and it's just cool, I guess. Not something that I would consider using, but it's neat. And Chi-Yu, I just don't care about. I don't know why they're all dark type, but they're all dark type. Ting-Lu, again, just kind of there. I mean, I guess, to be fair, Wo-Chien's got a lot more going on than the other two, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But then, what's his name? Chien Pao. I'm probably butchering these names too, but I don't care. I really like this thing. I'm going to actually see if I can add this to my team. It's a quad weakness to fighting, but I don't care. I just love this thing so much. So, I think they're both going to at least be an 8 out of 10. I just have to figure out if both of them are going to be there, or if I'm going to put them 10 out of 10. You know what? I'm going to keep them both there. Because I feel like having 6 Mons that I absolutely love from this gen is fair. Much like how I feel with anime, I don't want to have too many that are 10 out of 10, because then it just kind of makes everything feel kind of pointless. But, you know, it's whatever. So this is my ranking of every single evolutionary line, or fully evolved Mons. If you want me to do a top 10, it's probably going to be similar to this. I already have a thumbnail made and everything. I just wanted to get a tier list out because that'll be easier for me to discuss all of the new Mons. And maybe by the time I make that top 10 list, my thoughts would have changed. I could have more time playing the game. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you enjoy, hit that like button down below. And I'll see you next time. Momentai.